Why is it the more you wait for the mail, the longer it takes and the less there is in it? How are you? John Balm here, Cape Cod Wet Shaving. Good to be back. Seems a little sad without all the extra stuff hung up everywhere. I already missed Christmas. Doing better this year with the depression and all that. And I'm loath to call it that, but I guess that's technically what it is. I always get the post-holiday blues, and this year I'm golden. I'm feeling good. So that's a relief. Very much a blessing. Good to see everyone again. It's been 2 weeks since my last shave video. I did the video yesterday with my choice of 5 fragrances of 2022. Go check that out if you got like 15 minutes. Coffee of the day, real quick. Of course, Stirling. Papua New Guinea. Very good one. Medium roast, but it's a little on the sweet side. Very, very, very tasty. Like all their stuff. All right, sorry. So, today I am going to be using Bay Rum from Stirling. Everything's going to be Stirling across the board today. I'm a little overdue for Stirling. I used Christmas Eve as the last one on Christmas Eve. I love Stirling. But I was in a Bay Rum mood for some reason. I already have the pre-shave oil on, even though it's dry. Bay Rum pre-shave oil. I'll also be using the Bay Rum Splash and the Bay Rum post-shave balm. I am even using my Stirling fan badger brush, and I don't have one of their bowls. I should get one. Would love a Stirling. Yeah, they have a Stirling mug actually. I should get, but I am using my bowl I got from Irina Marchu at Ginger's Garden. How you doing, Irina? And I will be using the, oh yeah, gotta put that back together, Stirling stainless steel razor. And I will be using a brand new Astra green blade in that. So let me go ahead and load up the razor. So today, it's the start of a new year. I was going to do like New Year stuff, but I've done a lot of theme stuff lately. I did a themed Thanksgiving history shave. I did a theme, like 3 or 4 themed Christmas history shaves. So I thought, you know what? I'll just pick something random. The one I was going to do is a little depressing, so I'll say that for next. This one's a little on the freaky side, but whatever. All right, got that loaded up. All right, today I'll be talking about the SS Ourang Medan. Getting alerts like I always do. Facebook this time. And something from Ben on Instagram. So the Ourang Medan was a Dutch freighter from the 1940s. I'll get into that in a second. Before I start spouting off the facts, please forgive the water. All right, get the pre-shave wet again. And I already got my brush soaked. All right. So the SS Ourang Medan is a supposed ghost ship that has remained a mystery for decades. All right. So the interesting thing about this story is there's really no proof. Statements only. And no eyewitness statements because there were no survivors of this story here. So give me one moment as I lather. Sources vary as to when the mystery occurred and where the ship sank. So here's a photo. This is not the Ourang Medan. This is a very unlucky ship with a tug next to it. Various newspaper reports state the incident happened in 1940, 1947, or 1948. All right, it's very sporadic. So with my videos, I like to throw in photos. There are no photos of the Ourang Medan. I think I'm saying that correctly. It's Malaysian for the man of Medan, is what the name is. But there are no photos of the ship. There are no photos of the wreck. There's also speculation as if the incident occurred at all, or if the Ourang Medan was even a real ship. Okay? Already off and running here. Getting loaded there. Alright. I think I'm going to do mug lather today. I always do straight to the face. I'll go ahead and use this. Just takes me a little longer. That's why I usually hesitate. I usually do a mug or bowl lather when I'm not recording, doing one of these. But I'm going to take my time with this video. This is my first one in a while. And I always end up doing that anyway, so what the hell. So, this photo, I believe, was just made. I believe it's a shipwreck or artwork of a shipwreck with the name of the ship on the side. But here's a photo, the only photo I could find that actually said Ourang Medan on it. So the story goes as follows, all right? You ready? The SS Ourang Medan was a Dutch vessel, was passing through the Strait of Malacca. Now the Strait of Malacca is near the island of Sumatra, okay? Today it is a very widely used shipping route. It is used today and it's used a lot. It's one of the busiest shipping routes on earth, be a fact, okay? For international and local shipping. So it ran afoul of a mysterious tragedy. My hair's getting so long. Whipping my head around because I got hair on my neck and hair on my face and everything getting in my eyes. Two American vessels, now this is what's interesting. Two American vessels, the City of Baltimore and the Silver Star, among many others, okay, picked up several distress messages from the Medan. Now I went and looked, and from what I can tell, the City of Baltimore and the Silver Star especially were actual real ships. These were real ships at this time. They did exist, okay? So it's odd that the other ships involved were real, but they say that the ship this happened to was not. Wow, that lather's terrible. That is terrible. Go ahead and thicken that up. Wow, that's bad. That's some terrible lather. Sorry, guys. I'm not doing Stirling any justice here, am I? Just didn't load very well. My apologies. There we go. There we go. Trying to do a rush job there. Didn't load the brush enough at all. All this time later, coming up on 3 years now of wet shaving, and I can still make a really crappy lather. Oh, there we go. Das ist sogar besser. Go ahead and get the mustache just to get some skin food to the hair, the roots of the hairs. Even though I'm not gonna shave my mustache, I do like to do that because it'll soak down and help with peeling and stuff, especially in the winter, which it is. All right, back to it. Sorry about that, gang. Soap everywhere too. Wipe off my brush. There we go. It's annoying when I make silly mistakes like that. So the American vessel, City of Baltimore, already covered that. All right. So a radio operator from the stricken vessel sent the following message in Morse code, okay? Keep in mind, this is the 1940s. So Morse code was still pretty widely used. The message said, SOS from Ourang Medan. We float. All officers, including captain, dead in chart room and on bridge. All right. Very ominous. Probably whole of crew dead. All right. After this, there were very sporadic dots and dashes that meant nothing in Morse code. Just random, like the guy was twitching or spasming and hitting dots and dashes or something. Two final words that were eligible. What's the word not eligible? Intelligible. Right? You know the word I'm thinking of. That makes me look so dumb. Two words that were able to be picked up, I'll say, came through. And those words were, I die. And it would be the last communication from the ship at all. The words, I die. Freaky. Right? Astra green first use. And this is an aggressive razor. So hopefully all goes well here. Yeah, I got hairs all over me. Alright, so I die would be the last communication with the ship. Imagine being the radioman on board one of these two vessels, getting that. I'd be like, say again? Well, you can't because it's more, I mean, you could say it. I'm thinking on the radio. Say again, over. So, not looking good. I'm already on the other side of this page too, but don't worry, I have 3 pages. I really got into this one. So the Silver Star had apparently found and boarded the ship. So the Silver Star is really the star of the story here. No pun intended. Well, a little bit. They apparently found and boarded the ship to attempt a rescue and mount an investigation. All right. They found her adrift, dead in the water, and boarded her. First thing they took note of was all the bodies. It gets a little morbid. They stated that bodies littered the decks of the ship. All right. They all had they were all lying on their backs, staring at the sky with their mouths open. This is the report from the boarding party. With their mouths open and terrified and or agonized expressions frozen on their faces. No survivors were located, and no outward signs of injury could be seen on any of the dead. So they just found a ship with dead people everywhere. No immediate cause of death was found. Look at that big old zit right there, huh? I think that's an ingrown hair. Big one. Give me 1 sec. I'm wary with new blades. I'm definitely wary of new blades in this thing, because it's, like I said, it's more on the aggressive side. It's a wonderful razor, man. I love the way it feels. You'll notice I don't really use both of it. It's meant to be, you know, like that, but I use it more. Might drive some people crazy. That's all right. Look at that. Better, isn't it? That's so embarrassing. But that's okay. You know what? That's fine. Anyone who's new to this, if you see that, again, I'm coming up on 3 years of wet shaving, and I just did a horrible job loading my brush and did one of the thinnest lathers I've done in a long time. That looked horrible. I usually start it out thin as it is, but whatever. Alrighty. Go ahead and load up again. I'll do this, and then I'm going to go from the mug because I got all those suds in the mug there. I just want to put a foundation down, I guess. Per se. Alright. So, this is where it gets kind of cool. The Silver Star went back to their ship, the crew, and they began towing operations. Now, when I was in the Coast Guard, I was on a ice-breaking tug, WTGB 108, the Coast Guard cutter Thunder Bay. WTGB stands for whatever reason, W is Coast Guard. Don't know why. And the TGB stood for Tug Glacier Boat. Although God help you if you call a cutter a boat in the Coast Guard, which we all did. One of those things. And one of the things we had was a big old tow box on the fantail, or the stern, of our cutter. And inside this tow box was a massive spool. I'm talking as wide as I could spread my arms, wider, of mooring line on a spool that was meant for towing operations. And we had what was known as a chock. A chock is something it sticks up from the deck, and it's something you wrap the line around. And we had a towing chock, and it looked like a giant letter H. There were two that stuck straight up. It was divided in the middle, and that's where the towing line would go through. And then on the other side of the vertical parts, there were two that stuck out. It's really hard to describe. You'd have to see it. But basically, that was meant for the towing line to pass through, so it would go straight out the amidships, off the fantail, to tow a vessel. Now, we did towing drills all the time, but we actually only towed, in my 4 years on board, we only towed a vessel twice. One was planned, one was unplanned. It was a vessel that was DIW, dead in the water. And we towed it back into port, excuse me. So my point is, towing operations were a big deal. And it involved the whole crew. The whole crew of the ship was involved in towing operations. So, they were doing tow operations when a fire... Oh, also, you have to be on board the vessel that's going to be towed to prep it to be towed. All right? You got to do all kinds of things. Checklist after checklist after checklist. So they were on board the vessel to get it ready to be towed. And a fire broke out in number 4, cargo bay number 4. Cargo hold number 4. Which is weird, okay? This is a freighter. Dead in the water, crew dead. There was a fire that would have already been burning when they boarded. But no, it started while they were on board. And it spread so rapidly that the crew had to flee the ship. All right, without any more investigation or anything able to be done. They had to get off board their own ship to save themselves due to this fire. And it spread very rapidly. They had just enough time to board their ship and get out of the way and get away from it when an explosion rocked the Ourang Medan. Some sources say it was 4 separate explosions. Most of them that I found said it was 1 explosion, but it was massive enough to lift the ship out of the water. Okay? Big old explosion. Enough to lift the ship out of the water and have it land back down. And obviously a ship that, or an explosion that big would have crippled that thing, and it sank rapidly without anyone having an opportunity to investigate further. There's the damn mailman now. Son of a... The intro to this video was because I am waiting for Wapiti, the new set coming out from AA Shaving. How you doing, Austin? I'm doing a live shave with him Sunday using his newest release, Wapiti. Wapiti, I believe, I forget, is it a native language of the indigenous people of the West Coast around Washington State, but it means elk. And it's supposed to be a really woodsy scent. Austin said woodish scent, wood-like. So I am intrigued, and I'm very flattered because anytime he does a new release, he and I do a live shave together. So that'll be Sunday. I don't know what time Sunday. We haven't established that, but it'll be Sunday. And the set comes out at the Razor Company Saturday, tomorrow. Saturday the 7th will be the release tomorrow. And Sunday the 8th, live shave with Austin of AA Shaving. So I'm looking forward to that. And Jason at the Razor Company actually asked me to do a live shave with the Razor Company tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. my time. And unfortunately, I will be with my daughter at basketball practice, which coincidentally enough begins at 9. So I will be smack in the middle of not being able to do that, unfortunately. So, but anyway, that was the intro because I was standing outside. I thought I heard the mail truck right as I was prepping to do this video. And I ran outside, and it wasn't the mail truck. I don't know what it was. So I stood there for a minute or two, and then just decided, since I'm outside, what the hell, I'll shoot that little quick video. Because I thought it was funny. Anywho. So the 2 mysteries linger today, okay? 2 big mysteries. One, obviously, what the hell happened to the crew? And what could have possibly caused that explosion? But then that opened up yet another mystery as the years went on. And that was, did the ship even really exist? Did it exist at all? All right, there are plenty who would say absolutely that it existed. Now you might be scratching your head at this point, because if 2 ships that were proven to exist both said that they boarded this ship, got the distress calls and boarded the ship, what's with questioning whether the ship even existed? Well, here's why. There are no documented incident reports. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's 1748 or 1948. If you were a vessel and you came across another vessel in distress and you boarded it and all this stuff happened, even if there was no incident, there's an incident report. Even if it went smoothly, everyone survived, there are no casualties, nothing wrong. You helped the ship, they got home, you went home, you went to bed, and that was the end of it. There's going to be an incident report. When you're on a vessel, you document every inch of that vessel's underway time. It's just the way it works in maritime, in a maritime line of work. Believe you me. So for there to be no incident report is very odd. But even more importantly, there's something called the Lloyd's Ship Registry, okay? And the Lloyd's Ship Registry I guess I would compare kind of to Kelly Blue Book. Not to talk about you know, the value of the ships or anything, but every ship would be listed. Okay? It's an easy go-to for ship registry purposes. The SS Ourang Medan is not listed in any ship registries. And if it's not listed, it means it doesn't officially exist. Which is odd, considering two valid ships that did exist said that they heard from it, located it, and boarded it. At least one of them boarded it. So there's no mention of a ship called the Ourang Medan in any shipping registry, nor has any official incident report been found involving the vessel, which I just said. Many hypothesize the Medan may have actually been involved in smuggling operations, which would explain a lot of this. Possibly potassium cyanide, nitroglycerin, or even war stocks of nerve agents, okay? Now that last one's important. Potassium cyanide was everywhere. Ask the Nazis. They all carried a capsule. They passed them out to one another. They thought they're going to be captured. Nitroglycerin, yeah, obviously. Especially if this is 1940, but even 47, 48, this is post, you know, pre-Cold War, right, ramping up right into the Cold War, post-World War II, okay? There were still arms being dealt with, you know, all kinds of stuff breaking down since the war. Nerve agents, though. As I mentioned in another video, even Hitler would not use nerve agents. Benito Mussolini is the only one who would go against the Geneva Convention and use nerve gas in conflict. Because Adolf Hitler had it done to him in World War I. He was injured by nerve gas. So he refused to use it. Interesting little facet of history there. So for them to have been carrying nerve gas is quite substantial. But you also wouldn't want anyone to know about that, now would you? Especially because of that. So, having said that, several theories have been put forward, including seawater possibly entering the ship's hold and reacting with the cargo. That is highly feasible, because seawater can react with many things, including submarine batteries and things of that nature. It'll get into the batteries and it will flood the entire vessel with gas that will kill the whole crew, and that has actually happened. So, possibly toxic gas or poison might have killed the crew, okay? And if you're dying from asphyxia, that would explain some of the looks of horror on their faces in their last moments. Same water could have reacted with the nitroglycerin chemically. Could have reacted with the nitroglycerin. As we know, nitroglycerin, or as you may know, sorry, as we know. How arrogant did that sound? As you might know, or you might not know, nitroglycerin is extraordinarily unstable. Dynamite sticks left in storage, left over from mining operations over the years, actually sweat pure nitroglycerin. And the very act of bonking into the crate, okay, you could take an ampule of nitroglycerin and shake it, and it'll detonate. It is extremely unstable. So that's a feasible outcome to that as well. But in any case, no wreck has ever been discovered, okay? And no evidence other than hearsay has come to light. It is a mystery that may never be solved. Interesting. Give me a sec, let me wash up, and I'll do post-shave. Alrighty. So, I forgot halfway through to talk about the soap. It's Stirling. Everyone knows Stirling. This bay rum, so the scent notes were bay rum, orange, cinnamon, nutmeg, and a hint of clove, okay? The hint of clove, the clove's still pretty strong in this stuff. I've mentioned before early on in some of my videos that bay rum took a while to grow on me, and it did. Specifically because of the clove. I don't mind clove. I like the smell of clove. In fact, one of my favorite things that my wife makes is ham, and she will take whole cloves and stick it inside she'll do a grid pattern with cloves. She'll stick it in the ham and then put a bed of pineapple, sliced pineapple underneath it, and cook it in the oven and slow cook it. And that's one of the most delicious freaking, oh, so good. So I don't mind clove, but it can be easy to overdo. That Shave Secret oil, I never use it for shave oil. I always use it for pre-shave. Is very clove heavy. That's why you'll see me use it with, like, you know, not everything. You'll see me use it with specific things. Oh, wow, that really burned. Whew. Should have done 2 passes instead of 3. I usually don't do 3. Oh, man. Look how red that is. Oh, well. It'll go down. Especially with the Balm. They have really good Balms. But if you like Bay Rum, there's definitely worth a shot. And Stirling's just really good. Rod and Mandy are good people. Hello, Rod and Mandy, if you see this. Doubt it, but why not? Whether you do or don't, how you doing? They look like they're finally getting set up. I wish I could go to their shop. Would love to just walk in and be like, hey guys, love your products. Oh yeah, that Balm really calms it down. Good stuff. The heck's in this? Meadow foam, seed oil, grape seed oil, shea butter. There's something that just immediately soothes when I'm flared up like that. What a difference, huh? So, I do have a new product from someone local that I'm going to use. I'm not going to do a history shave with it. I'm just going to do a review video on it. So the product is called Shave Base. They're based in Massachusetts. In fact, his main job is a business. He doesn't live here, but it's one of the branches is 5 minutes from us. So pretty cool. But I'm going to do a review on that. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know, probably next week. I got a busy weekend. Anyway, I hope you like that one. It's really interesting. I spent a lot of time searching for stuff about this. I couldn't really find anything on the newspaper reports. I did find the newspapers, but nothing really worthy of posting on here picture-wise. It's just weird. The one thing is, there's a German guy. I read a story about there was a supposed survivor who went back and talked about they were indeed secretly taking illegal, dangerous stuff, chemicals, and something happened where the gases leached up, killed the whole crew, and then he died shortly after. Convenient. Don't know if that's true or not. There's also a little book written by a German guy in 1953 or 58, somewhere around there. I think it was 53, that mentions the ship and blames it on carbon monoxide. That there was a boiler, something happened with the boiler, and the boiler malfunctioned, which caused the rest of the boilers to do the same. Carbon monoxide came up, leached out, killed the crew. The only thing is the explosion. Now, a hot boiler with cold seawater hitting it during a sinking ship, it will explode. That happened on the Titanic, be a fact. But I don't think to the degree, even if, I don't know how many boilers were on board, I would think maybe 4, I don't know. Even if all of them simultaneously exploded, I don't think it'd be enough to lift it up out of the water. I might be wrong, but in any case, mystery, it's up there with Hoffa and Bermuda Triangle. We probably, we can assume, we'll probably just never know. It's the way it is. But it's very interesting if you go look it up. They called it a modern day Mary Celeste, which is another ghost ship. But if they find the wreck, that'd be awesome. However, the strait is not that big. I think it's like 200 kilometers, something like that long. It's not that big compared to the rest of the ocean. So they should be able to find the wreck in no short order. Anyway, only problem is there's a lot of wrecks through that strait because it's widely used. All right, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Glad to be back. I really miss doing this. Just been so busy with the holidays. Hope everyone had great ones. And the upcoming baby that I've since announced. It's a boy. That's another thing we found out right before Christmas. I posted about it, but in case you didn't see, May is the due date. So yeah. All right. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy. Happy winter, everybody. Stay safe out there. Happy shaving. Until next time. See you later.